Hey, what's up, everybody? It's me, J. James Hammer, the CEO of Blackout Media, here with B Original Designs, the CEO of Blackout Media, and we're here today for the very first episode of Crash Course, the new show on the Blackout Hub channel. Um, Today, it's going to be different from the normal formula. I mean, like, this is not how the show is going to be. I mean, in the future, it's going to be more tutorial based, but I just wanted to start it out talking about how to be a freelance artist. Um, and this is gonna be more focused on the digital side and like using the internet and all that stuff. So if you're like a traditional drawing artist and you sell paintings like on the black market, I don't know if this can help you, but this is for the people that are just starting out and really want to know how to be a freelance artist. So I think we're doing like kind of like a free talk about this. We're not really doing like a full set up tutorial. It's gonna be more of a free talk and just talk about our experiences and stuff like that. So, uh, you know, I just want to say that when I first started out, I thought I was a lot better than I actually was, and I later on realized why this was. And I just want to say this is because you have to realize when you're working on things and you're developing your skill, your eye skill develops way faster than your hand skill or your technical skill or like what you know, because your eyes at the beginning when you start out don't know what's good from bad. You can't really tell the difference, but then eventually you'll learn that like very fast, actually, like what's good and what's bad in a design or an art piece. But your hands won't be able to do that. Your eyes will like be so keen on the good stuff, but you can't do that yourself, so you think you get worse and worse as you progress. Just know you're progressing as fast as you can, because everyone's different. Everyone progresses at different paces. I know B, he took about 6 years to get where he is, and I took about a year and a half. And the reasons is because we had different access to like information. We had different access to like outsources of people that can help. Maybe different starting talents or starting knowledge. It all factors in. So I want to let B talk about his experience with learning and how he started out. So
All right, so I guess when I started, things were not as they are now. There wasn't like, open education. You couldn't go online and just Google whatever you wanted to know and expect to find an answer. It was more of one of those things where, hey, you're gonna read like 50 books, or you're gonna sit there and figure it out on your own. There really wasn't YouTube tutorials out there. There weren't all the big designers like Rated or Jazza or people like that really they go on there and they do tutorials of how to do this or how to do that, or lynda.com, which by the way, if you are looking to learn, is a great resource to start out with. I mean, if you've gone through YouTube and you can't find what you're looking for, lynda.com is they're really good. Yeah, we're not sponsored by them, and personally I've watched a lot of their content and I do believe it works if you use it properly. They teach you technique over, how to do certain effects. So you can really learn how to use the tools, which in the end is going to help you do what you want to do with it. Uh, Obviously, the best ways to learn now in this day and age is probably YouTube. Lynda.com, as I said, great resource. Schooling, there's a lot of high schools out there now, along with college, that will offer digital media, art, video production, whatever it is you want to do. There's of course Blackout, where we teach you guys. There's a lot nowadays that young artists can take advantage of that will give you guys a head start.
yeah, I mean that's why we started like these tutorial series. I mean, B's doing the technical skill stuff, like the technique side of the tutorials. I'm doing the effects. Like, you have more knowledge of the program. You know how to use it. You just don't know how to do some of these effects or these different styles. So that's what I'm here for. B's here for the more like the technique side, where like how to actually use this program. And that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to help, young artists or aspiring artists, find out what they're good at and learn, basically. Um, when you're starting out, you definitely don't want to immediately start selling your artwork or doing anything like that. Just show it to people. Show as many people as you possibly can your artwork. And the reason is because more eyes means more opinions, and more opinions mean more feedback, and more feedback means more learning and more progress. If you just show your best friend and he says it's good, that's because he's probably your best friend. He doesn't want to tell you it sucks. Ask random people you don't know. Go on a forum. Go on a community site. Ask around. That's our network is so good for that. People go in and they just ask if this is good or this is bad, and we give them good, positive, or negative feedback. And it's constructive. People are giving their honest opinion. You really want honest opinion. You don't want people to say it's good, because the most hurtful words to a beginning artist is "Wow, good job, that's really great," and no further explanation. That's the most painful words, because you'll hear that, "Oh, I'm really good. That means I don't have to do anything anymore." And it stops progress. You really want to get people to say things are bad. I mean, as much as you don't want to hear your stuff sucks, you got to hear it, because if you hear that, you really know, hey, I got to fix this. I got to make this better, and you'll strive for that. You want to strive to impress people, and if you start doing that, you'll feel better and better about your skill. As I said before, your eyes will see things as bad, so you want to get a second opinion and make sure that you are progressing, you are doing things good. Even if you might not like your own work, you still get an outside opinion saying that it is good, and they give you a critique why it is. You really want why. You don't want the, oh, it's great, and then no further explanation. You want, oh, it's great because it has good contrast, it has, an amazing composition, and, the line work is amazing. You really want that, not one-word answers. I mean, at the end of the day, when you're starting out, you are just experimenting. Just experiment. Do not ever just use one style. Like, if you learn a style, that's great. Good for you. Use other ones. Don't ever use the same thing. I don't ever do that. I'm still learning. I'm still a student. So is B. We still always learn from other people, and we always learn new styles, and we never use the same thing over and over and over and over again. Because if we did that, at the end of the day, we wouldn't become better artists. We would just be stagnant, and that's something you want to avoid. So I think moving on from the learning part, since we definitely grasped that pretty well, we're gonna move on to more of how to actually start, being a freelance artist. I mean, this is what it's about. After the learning process, and you learn a little about the program, you know a little bit of things. Small amount of what you've learned from the the training process, I guess. You're gonna want to start doing free work. Now, a lot of some designers, I know B is kind of against free work, but I, on the other hand, think free work at the very beginning is very useful, because it gives you promotion. It gives you, gets your name out there. It gets customer, like it helps you get experience with customers. It definitely gives you practice. I mean, that's a big one right there. That's why I will sometimes do free work, just to get some practice in if I'm not doing designs for people. And so you really want to do some free work at first. Like, don't ever just start selling your work, because if you start doing that, people won't want to buy from you if you're not that skilled of an artist. I mean, that's just what it is. But if you are skilled, people will buy from you. But you're not going to immediately be a skilled artist. So I think that's pretty much it for beginning stages. I mean, if you're just starting out, you want to first, so just an overview, you want to first learn. Go to a website like lynda.com, go to a watch tutorials like here on Blackout Hub channel, or you can go to any other channel like Sikra, Jaza, there's like, you look up GFX tutorial or graphic design tutorial and you'll find millions of them. Just look at things, watch videos, so many videos. Even if it's a speed art, you can learn from speed arts too. A lot of people don't know that. You can watch people and slow it down yourself. There's this little slow down feature on YouTube, and you can also just take the video, you can download it. Don't re-upload it. You can download the video and actually slow it down in editing software, so you can actually see what they're doing step by step. I've done that before, just to actually process what they're doing so I can learn for myself. And you then, after you're done with that, you're going to want to start doing free work, and the free work is going to help you grow and practice and learn how to deal with customers, and learn how to deal with, an pouring in amount of requests. Because if you do free work, people are going to want it. Whatever, if it's free, people are going to want it. So yeah, I guess that concludes the first part. Do you want to say anything about it? Do you want to say anything about beginnings?
Well, I mean,
for young designers,
once you've really learned the craft, and now maybe you're not good enough yet, and as I said, free work is good when done for a reason. Now, if you're not good and you need practice, free work is a great way to, start experiencing the process of working with a client, or to start experiencing, this is what works, this is what doesn't, this is how to fulfill what a client expects of you. If you're good, honestly, I would say that free work is just not the way to go, because design is a service, and you do deserve to get paid for it if you are, of quality. And the one thing that I always remembered that I was told by a very wise professor, and I do, recommend everyone kind of live by this. And basically, it's that the purpose of design is to accelerate and facilitate the message. Now, if you can't do this for your client, you're probably not ready to charge yet. But if you, as a designer, are able to take your client's request and to take into consideration their target audience, what they're trying to convey, then you are, you're out there. You've got every skill that you need to start charging if you can do that.
Mm-hmm. I mean, you got a really good point there. Just to reiterate that, if you can't accomplish what the customer wants, then that's what it's for, the practice, the training. You really need to train more. If you get a customer and they stump you, I know that happens to me a lot, that happens to B a lot. We just get stumped. They're like, oh shit, how do we do this? And we figure it out. We just end up figuring it out. We take a little longer, take a little more time. We spend time learning, and then we come back and say, hey, I can do this for you now. Hey, I actually learned how to do this in the past couple weeks. In the future, when you're a designer for a long time, you can start learning things like that. Snap of fingers, you learn a new process, you learn a new program, a new, this, a new that, a new effect. You'll learn it very quickly because you already know how to use most of the program, or how to use most programs. So you could just, oh yeah, this little effect, I can just go in and do it right now. No, work required. It takes me a couple seconds to learn it. So that's gonna conclude part one of this. I'm gonna guess it's gonna be 3 parts. I have no idea. 3-part series of how to be a freelance artist. Hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time.